Let's say, for some mysterious reason, gravity on Earth just doubled. No warning, no explanation. Just bam, everything got twice as heavy. At first, you'd probably think, okay, things are heavier. Big deal. But you'd be wrong. Very, very wrong. Because when gravity changes, literally everything changes. So what happens in the first second? You fall. No matter where you are, standing, sitting, lying in bed, you'd suddenly feel like the floor is pulling you down with the strength of an invisible, angry weightlifter. Your knees buckle, your back compresses, and unless you're made of reinforced titanium, your spine probably won't love this moment. For most people, even standing becomes a challenge. Your body isn't designed to carry double its own weight. If you weigh 70 kilograms now, you'd feel like 140 kilograms. Try to stand. Go ahead. But unless you're a bodybuilder, or you happen to live on Jupiter, you're staying down. But wait, you're not the only one in trouble. Your dog just flopped over like a pancake. Birds? Forget flying. They plummet like bricks. Insects, at least the ones close to the ground, might survive. But anything airborne? Gone. Planes? Oh boy, they were never meant for this. Commercial jets rely on a delicate balance of lift and gravity. Suddenly, gravity just ripped up the rulebook. In midair, thousands of flights start to descend. Not glide. Descend, hard. Emergency landings become emergency crashes. Airports turn into tree-off centers. Chaos in the sky. Meanwhile, on the streets, cars are in trouble too. Tires weren't built for this weight. Trucks collapse under their own mass. Bicycles? Don't even try. Your tires explode before you leave the driveway. And walking? That's a workout from hell. But let's zoom out. That's the human side. What's happening to the planet? Well, a doubling of gravity means pressure in Earth's core increases dramatically. The molten iron and nickel swirling beneath our feet are now under more stress than ever. Could this trigger more earthquakes? Volcanoes? Absolutely. In fact, tectonic plates are now grinding together harder than they ever have. Fault lines buckle. Mountains rumble. Volcanoes wake up from millennia of sleep. The Himalayas shift. The San Andreas Fault groans. Indonesia, already a hotspot for earthquakes, becomes a fireworks show of destruction. But maybe you're safe. You live in a quiet little town, far from any tectonic drama. Great, but you're still not in the clear. Remember your house? Your walls weren't made to hold up twice their load. Beams crack. Roofs sag. Old buildings, especially those made before modern safety codes, just give up. Entire neighborhoods collapse like sandcastles. Skyscrapers? They were engineered with safety margins, sure. But not this much. Steel bends. Glass shatters. Urban centers turn into mangled piles of metal and debris. And don't even think about elevators. You're taking the stairs now. Oh wait, stairs? Try climbing them with twice your weight. That's right. Enjoy the first 5 steps before your quads burst into flames. Outside, the environment is trying to adjust too. Trees, especially the big ones, are snapping like twigs. Their roots can't anchor them with that kind of weight. Forests turn into tangled masses of wood and leaves. Birds' nests fall. Squirrels cling to trunks like desperate rock climbers. But it gets worse. Rain. Under stronger gravity, water falls faster. Rain hits the ground harder. Storms become violent. Rivers overflow faster. Floods become walls of liquid death. And snow? Imagine snowflakes the size of coins slamming into your face at twice the speed. A peaceful winter wonderland turns into a barrage of frozen bullets. And oceans? You might think gravity doubling would suck the oceans toward the ground, right? Sort of. The water weighs more, yes, but tides are governed by the moon's gravity versus Earth's. So now Earth is pulling harder, but the moon isn't. That balance shifts. Tides shrink. Coastal ecosystems collapse. Animals that rely on tides for feeding, like crabs, mussels, and shorebirds, begin to starve. But don't worry. We'll get to the animals in a second. First, let's talk about time. No, not time travel. I mean the passage of time on Earth. Gravity actually affects how time flows. It's called gravitational time dilation. The stronger gravity is, the slower time moves for you compared to someone in weaker gravity. So if gravity just doubled, time on Earth would slow down slightly, imperceptibly for most of us, but measurable for satellites. Your GPS would start glitching, giving you directions to a Starbucks in the ocean. The entire global navigation system would fall apart in minutes. And satellites? Most were launched into orbits that balanced Earth's pull. With gravity doubled, they're being yanked down. Hard. Communications go dark. Internet fails. TV? Gone. Weather monitoring? Forget it. We're flying blind into the next hurricane. Okay, now about those animals. Most land animals are in serious trouble. Elephants? Already heavy. Now they collapse under their own mass. Giraffes? Their long necks become liabilities. Even the mighty rhino, all muscle and armor, can't take the pressure. Small animals might do better. Mice, rats, ants, they have less mass and more efficient structures. In fact, insects could become the new overlords of the animal kingdom. Gravity is a brute force equalizer. Marine animals suffer too. Fish in shallow water find it harder to swim upward. Dolphins can't leap anymore. Whales? Beached, broken, unable to surface for air fast enough. Birds? Extinct in a week. Their bodies were engineered for lift and lightness. Gravity just rewrote evolution. So what do humans do now? We adapt. It's what we're good at. First step? Mobility. We start building exoskeletons, robotic suits that let people move with ease. Think Iron Man, but not for saving the world, for grocery shopping. Hospitals are flooded with compression injuries. Physical therapy becomes the biggest industry on Earth overnight. Architecture? Reinvented. Engineers scramble to design new materials and frameworks that can bear the load. Cities become more compact. Buildings grow outward, not upward. Underground living becomes popular, less stress from gravity, more stability. Transportation? Enter the maglev revolution. Wheeled vehicles are obsolete. Trains and cars float using magnetic fields. Roads are replaced with tracks and launch tubes. Air travel is gone, so we turn to tunnels, hyperloops, anything that avoids lifting mass. Food production? Farming changes dramatically. Crops that grow tall fall over. So we engineer low, dense, gravity-resistant plants. Lettuce thrives. Corn struggles. Vertical farming dies, replaced by sprawling horizontal fields inside climate-controlled bunkers. Energy? Good news, solar panels are fine. But we need more energy to power exosets, magnetic transport, and artificial supports. So we go nuclear, fast. Fossil fuels can't keep up. Wind power suffers, air's harder to move in strong gravity. But geothermal thrives. The Earth is angry, but full of heat. Now, schools are teaching gravity math to kids. Architects relearn everything. Sports? Yeah, about that. Basketball? Dead. Football? Maybe, if you're okay with shattered bones. The new national sport? Chess. Indoors. Sitting down. And let's not forget space exploration. Remember all those space agencies? NASA, ESA, SpaceX? They're crying. Because with twice the gravity, the energy needed to escape Earth's pull just skyrocketed. Rocket launches are nearly impossible. Every kilogram of cargo now needs twice the fuel we don't have. Moon base? Cancelled. Mars colony? Try again in 500 years. We're stuck. Trapped on a very angry, very heavy rock. Unless we figure out how to fight gravity itself. And that's when things get really weird. Somewhere, deep in a secret lab, a scientist starts working on gravity manipulation. Not anti-gravity, that's sci-fi. But maybe localized gravity buffers. Zones where you can turn it down, create artificial, light zones. Cities begin to rise again, 1 meter at a time. We build floating platforms supported by reverse fields. Rich people live there. Poor people struggle below. A new class system is born, not based on wealth, but weight. The rich literally live lighter lives. Culture changes. Music slows down. Art becomes abstract. Expressions of pressure and collapse. Sculptors craft with denser materials. Dancers? A lost profession. Even relationships change. Dating becomes a question of bone density and core strength. Meanwhile, humanity dreams. Dreams of the old world. The light world. Videos of astronauts floating in space become nostalgic, mythical. Children born after the change never know what it felt like to run freely, to jump, to lie in bed without pain. And then, centuries later, someone stumbles upon a discovery. A lever. A code. A device buried deep in Earth's crust, built by something else. Aliens? Ancient humans? A warning? Whatever it is, it reads, Gravity 2.0. Revert to default. Someone presses the button, and the Earth exhales. Everything lightens. People collapse, not from exhaustion, but from relief. Tears fall upward. A bird flies again. A dog barks with joy. Planes rise. Rockets launch. Humanity returns to the stars. But we never forget the time when gravity ruled our lives. And just in case, we leave the button alone. What if? Lab reality. We know it.